I don't wanna hear the good side.
Hey, what's up, guys?
This goodbye. If you wanna go, baby, just leave. Don't tell me that.
Hey, good morning. Hey, decided to go live this morning. I've been doing spaces. I know some of y'all can't replay them. This is just for you subscribers. I mean, I didn't advertise. I just sent it to you guys. Y'all ever heard of Pecos in the rooftop? They're good. I'm gonna be looking away in the morning. I'm gonna be looking away a lot, and in the Discord, I can go live and share my charts. And I've downloaded the software anyhow. I'm having problems doing this on YouTube, so but I did want to. All right, I'm looking at the bonds. The bonds are actually picking up steam to the downside. I know some of you guys asked last night about. Let me turn this music off. I just can't talk with the music on. I know some of you guys ask about how you watch it, TOT and TNX. I'm watching TOT this morning, the 20-year, which is usually more tied with the NASDAQ. You normally, this may, we're still way above the averages. I mean, I know the bears are creeping out of the woodwork, and I'm neutral here. The bonds, the market didn't sell off yesterday with the bonds. Maybe today this breaks it. I don't know. I know one thing. I got this ball that's got it. Yeah, sometimes during the day I sit here and do this and do that. Yeah. And then I put it under my desk and stump my toes on it. I was looking at any of you guys trade that Yale. I mean, I did not. I wasn't even paying attention to it, but I just happened to pull a chart. I think it went from like $0.25 to $5 in the last 3 days. It's a bankrupt freaking company. See, this is the kind of stuff the SEC should have been all over, but I don't even think they hawked it. All right, what I'm looking at, there's Meta had an inside day yesterday. I'm going to have to close this screen, so I'm going to try and still look at you. I'm looking at I posted the SPY chart, and we're right at, I'm going to look at a 15-minute, at 452. What was our low this morning? We had that 452 level. If we lose 452, maybe the 447 level on that. I'm just going to, the way my system is set up is I can click on my watch list, and all I got to do is hit the space bar, and it scrolls down all my charts. So whatever time frame, and then I'm going to look at my the gappers. So I'm just kind of walking through what I do. CME, these are the bigger boys now. NOWL, NOW now. NOW is the inside day if you try to start trading that. Costco, Costco is never mind. Let's don't. Yes, Costco's got an inside day, but it's right on the bottom wick. It may break lower. Not even Adobe. If Adobe loses the 541.80 level, 541. Actually, excuse me, not was where it closed. 540. Never mind. UNH, United Healthcare, up $4 in the pre-market. It's been consolidating right on this 505 level, whatever. Now it's up. That's a lot of strength for this kind of. Right now you're seeing flight to quality. Yesterday you saw, I think, John Deere was up like 23 points, and that was what really helped hold the Dow together. UNH is the largest component of the diamond, so it may show some strength. You're seeing flight to some of these quality companies like UNH, Deere. I think they're more of a dividend play. I have not checked what their dividends on UNH or Deere are. Netflix. Netflix. Here's the thing, like, you know, a lot of times I post inside days because it's a late. Sometimes it does not have to be necessarily inside. Understand algos operate off the wicks of candles, and if you find that like a a high wick or a low wick, when the price breaks that, it's normally going to keep going in that direction. Not always. Nothing's 100%. Because then you got to put in your moving averages and whatever you like to use, moving averages, Bollinger Bands, your trend lines, whatever, and you got to see where it all lines up, what kind of formation you got. But that's what that's what I look at. The Qs. Let's look at a 15-minute. What are the Qs doing with it? I mean, basically, right now, you've got an inside 15. If you're, matter of fact, if you're in front of your charts, pull up QQQ, and if you got I don't know whether you have, but before hours charts or not. But if you do, right now, QQQ's got an inside 15 and it's buttoned up against the VWAP. It's below the 50 on the Qs, and I can tell you, I don't know if any of you guys use pivot points, but on the Qs, excuse me. On the 15 on the Qs right now, the Qs are below their averages, and I actually would probably be paying attention to the lower. I would favor the lower wick on this one. Well, it's below its average. It may you may get some buying right on the open. Today might be one of those days where chances are I'm going to be sitting on my hands probably the first 30 minutes. I may trade a 1 minute candle, but hey, good morning, Brian. I'm sorry I had my screen closed right look chart, so I assumed I was looking at y'all some of the time. Mo Kaepernick, good morning, buddy. Seems to be an echo. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do about that. Is it still echoing? The working theory, the downgrade, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to. I actually, okay, good. Actually, Brian, let me give you a better answer. I mean, and this is just a pack answer. They downgraded Capital in 2011 also. And I really think it's I said last night that, it's a puppet show. You don't want the porridge too hot. You don't want the porridge too cold. You want the porridge just right. And I think that the Feds had to do something because oil was fixing to skyrocket. This is just my opinion. I think they had to slow down oil. They're in a rock and a hard place. They got their inflation is not under control, but they can't afford to raise rates because it's going to hurt the banks, and the banks have been in trouble. So we're damn if we do, damn if we don't. Downgrading the bonds is a cashless way. Is gobbledygook talk, and that's what this market's been running on is talk from the Feds. Why do you think they've had all these people from the Feds talking every friggin' day? Just about every day of every week, the Feds are saying some junk. So I think that, you'll see once if it'll be years from now, but it may not be years. Hell, they may do it next week. What I know. See, that was a lie. I almost told you a lie, but I caught myself. See, I'm gonna practice with you. I've seen Wall Street downgrade a stock and then turn around and upgrade it the very next day. Back in the 99, 2000, Henry Blodgett, the top internet analyst at the time. Yeah. So yeah, it's a way to me that is pulling in the reins. They don't. I was looking. I showed you all those lines on the spy chart on the daily, and we could be in this part, and I don't know that we are, but I just know that the last time we came out of a bear market, and the one I remember the most that was a true bear market was 2000. And when we came out of it, we based for years. We traded in a range for years, and maybe all these lines that we're looking at is going to define. I think you'll range and expand if that's where we're at. I mean, but if you go back and look at 2000 and 2008 too, you'll see that they had 40% rallies and then turned over and came right back down and made new lows. And that's, the NASDAQ has rallied almost 40%, I believe, at the top, 38, 40%. Anyhow, close enough. Is this where we roll over? Maybe so. I mean, I'm a big believer in the averages, and I'm not going to catch the top. I don't try and catch the top, because I tell people all the time, the top's infinity and the bottom's zero. So 0 to infinity. So how are you going to try and catch infinity? Like people trying to catch the top in GME at 200 when it went to 400. So I don't try and do that. I let it set up on the averages, and no, I don't miss it. But sometimes if I have a lot of long positions, I will have some hedges on with some puts or somewhere, or sell some calls or something along those lines. And if you're holding long right now, I would definitely suggest some kind of defensive strategy. If you don't want to sell a position, I would sell calls against it if you got that kind of capital. I'm just I'm looking at all the there's not just carnage like everybody's saying now. If volume comes in, and I'm pretty sure if volume comes into this market, we could get some momentum to the downside. But for the last 6-7 months, basically every pullback has been bought. I believe that Qs are going to test the 21 for the first time in a while. So today could be a very interesting day if we break that. And now if we do break the 21. And we stay below it a couple of days, or come down and come back up to it. Now we're talking getting short. And the last time we broke below it, and the short set up, it failed. It broke back up. I closed it as soon as the previous candle broke on the daily. See, because you got to know your time frame. Whether you trading a day chart, scalp trading 5 minutes, 50, whatever the time frame is. So. You can. So that's what I'm going to be looking at over the next month. We've got bond auctions for the next two weeks. I think not every day, but I mean yesterday they auctioned off 50 billion 42-day bills. I think next Monday, the 8th, Monday or Tuesday, it doesn't matter. I think one day we're going to do the 20 years, then the next is going to be the 30 years. And, it's going to see how that, how those auctions go is going to help with the direction of the market. I mean, I think the market, the market needs a good, healthy pullback. If this is the new bull market, it needs to pull back. Just the further you stretch the rubber band, the harder the comeback is. So we'll see. I mean, I'm in trader mentality, and that's what I recommend you do. Because right now, why do we want to guess the direction? Let's find some stock. I told you when the market's going up. Now watch the ones that doesn't rally. Watch the ones that are weak, because those are going to be the ones that are the best shorts. And I don't have any shorts that I'm just saying, oh man, this is just a layup short. I don't really have a great, like, Meta Meta might be something that you watch for a break lower. I'm just looking at right now. The only green I see on my screen is United Healthcare. Amgen's up 55 cents. Home Depot's up 37 cents. Goldman Sachs. So basically, look at the name that it said: Home Depot, Goldman Sachs, and Chipotle. I've only eaten at a Chipotle one time. There's not one close to my house, so it's just not a place I eat a lot. I kind of liked it. I know some people got E. coli, but come on, big deal, E. coli. All right, market's open. So I'm not doing anything on the open. I'll hang with you. I'm gonna turn to sideways just for a second though. Oh, there's a big. All right, that first candle broke. Systems are jammed. If you're trading, I'm telling you. Uh, 'I would be real careful right here because my system's lagging. If my system's lagging, you're just lagging. Boy, that's an ugly open. 379. 379. Let's see where support is here. Uh, 376 on the Qs, talking Qs, 376 is where we might have some support. If that doesn't hold, we might get some real mojo to the downside. I'm gonna watch that level right, right. Pull up another. I got another chart. It's a little. I mean, we're all the way down right now to S3. So we'll see if we can bounce right here. I'm not going long. I'm going to sit on my hands for a little while, guys. And you guys might be commenting. I don't have the YouTube on my screen right this second. I've got my charts up. I've got a laptop. Probably should do this on a laptop where I can do both. Caterpillar's up $1. The Russell, I'm looking at the Russell right now. It's going to be IWM I'm calling the Russell 194.35. So we're about a point away from there. Looking for a bounce there. See how, if you're watching the Qs on that 1 minute, see how that bottom wick broke on that 1 minute candle. I mean, like the day trading charts for what I'm looking at are totally destroyed right now. I mean, they're so far away from the averages. I mean, like they're just what. Hopefully, you see a rally back up into them for just like setting up a day trade short on the 1 minute or the 2 minute. See if we can get any kind of bounce right here. You know, the stocks I'm looking at are holding up fairly well. I'm looking on the stocks I've traded yesterday on my screen right now. I've got Coin, which is only down $1.70. Carvana's down $1.80. That URVN, Urbana's only down a half. Beyond's down 70 cents. So, I mean, right now, not saying because, days that start like this, I mean, they can pick up momentum to the downside. Right now, yeah, I mean, the market rallied, the 1 minute rally to VWAP and it's rolling back over. So, this could be. I don't know if y'all can see my ticker. Yeah, I mean, I would just be. I know that some of the things had lag issues this week. I would be careful with this market right here because we're still selling off, and there was absolutely no bounce. No, we're only 5 minutes into the open, but everything just, I just said those prices, everything just took a leg down. I mean, like I said, coin was down $1.70. Now it's down $2.50. So, I'm gonna watch. I'm watching. When everything's here's you're to me, if you're buying right here or even shorting this overextended on the short side, but I don't want to buy it because it's not a buy setup. So you do nothing. Sometimes doing nothing's good trading. And so right now I don't remember the last time the Qs were down below S3. 376 on the Qs. At 376 on the Qs, I will attempt a long at 370, actually 376.07. So I may buy a little maybe 376 and a quarter if it gets there. And then if it loses at 376, I'm gonna stop it out and I'm gonna lose a quarter. So the wick 2-3 days ago broke below it just a little bit. If you go back to what day is that on the Qs, if you're watching the Qs on 7/27 last Thursday, there was a print on the Qs, a low of 375.31. I would watch that 375.31 wick real. Say that wick real. I'd watch that one real close. If we lose that wick, we could be in for another 3 points on the Qs down. So we'll see if this holds. We're way down here, so I'm just gonna sit here and on my hands. Actually, you see my hands. I'm not sitting on my hands. Just a phrase. Now remember, I just said coin was down 240. Now it's down $1.30. Carvana was down what, $1.70? Now it's only down 50 cents. See, these things are bouncing. The Qs, these things. See, there's not as even though there's a lot of red right now. I'm not saying it can't accelerate, but I'm seeing these stocks trying to bounce here, and I'm not long them. I'm just watching some, but there's going to be a lot of today's the day you get chopped up in a hurry. I like better setups. Not saying you can't you could be shorting. So West TC showing a SmackDown algo candle on QQ on the 8 a.m. 5-minute candle for you. I don't know. I have to go back to the system, but I will tell you this. I wouldn't pay a lot of attention to 8 a.m. prints because 8 a.m. the prints you see at 8 a.m. is the prints of the consolidated tape, and that's all the trades from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. for 4 hours. That's that one candle represents that. That's how the system reports. So I personally don't put a lot of value on the 8 a.m. candle. It's just all the markets coming to the consolidated tape. That's when market makers that trade after hours or have a late trade, they report them, and all those trades are reported at 8 a.m. on the consolidated tape. So actually the 8 a.m. print is just, the kids that are late for school. That's what 8 a.m. is, people that didn't report. And I can tell you why they don't report them, because they're trading against somebody's book, and that person doesn't even know they're trading against their book. And if they're right, they keep the trade. And if they're wrong, they book it to the client. Yeah. It's called stealing. All right. These stocks are bouncing. Everybody, they're buying it. They're buying it. Yeah, see, if a bond downgrade can't bring weakness into this market. Because see, the bond market got killed yesterday and the market held up. We'll see. They're going to rally back up into the averages here, and we'll see see if it holds. Coin just went positive. Coin's now up a quarter. See, y'all should have been buying when I told you it was down $2. But see, that wasn't a setup. There was no setup there for me. I'm not saying you can't try and buy something like that. I just don't do it. I used to do it. I'd have been in there averaging down all morning long. That was 25 years ago, though. Somebody's riding a four-wheeler or a Polaris through my pecan orchard. I can hear them. I'm not going to go out there and run them off because it's my neighbors. Hopefully. They got 1,500 acres and they got to ride through my damn pecan orchard. Bastards. Yeah, C Plant, good morning. Ant, what's up? Trying to see if I made sure I talked to everybody. But anyhow, all right, see how the Qs went up here? The 1 minute went up into the 8. I'm going to watch how this 1 minute, if you got the EMA on your screen, watch how this 1 minute reacts to this. See, I mean, it's hit it. It's probably going to roll over and come back down. And if I was trading, I would be sitting here ready to short the break of this 1 minute candle. But see, this is a small scalp on the 1 minute. Now you got to understand, that's why I like trading bigger time frames to give you bigger moves. But the 1 minute, if it breaks, a half a point maybe. Everything, I don't know if my system's jammed or everything seems a little lethargic right now. I was really we had some, coin, went, moved up 2 points. All right, see, the candle didn't break lower, so now you're gonna, if it breaks through the 8, it hadn't done it yet. See, it rejected it again right there. It touched it. I'm gonna move to a 2 minute. All right, see, if you were looking at a 1 minute Q, now if you look at a 2 minute, see the 2 minute has not got there. Wow, coins up 80, coins up $1. And this, and remember, coins won their. I think I talked about it last night. Coins when they've been trying to kill with all this regulation talk and blah 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 blah, and they can't get it down. I'll post a chart of coin later. I meant, like, it's been digesting this big gains. I think a couple of weeks ago it reached like 110, something like that. That's one to keep on your radar because it was a $427 stock and it's $95. And there's a big short in it, and I like trading it. But I like trading it just because of what you just saw there. I mean, you just had a 3-point move in 13 minutes. You don't want to be on the wrong side of that 3-point move, though. All right, the 2 minute is rallying. The 1 minute broke the 8, so the 1 minute's probably going to go to the 21. When the 1 gets to the 21, the 2's going to be at the 8. Or it could roll over right here. Yeah, I mean, we just got back to S3. I mean, like, we're below, the Qs are below S3 on the 1 minute. I think the market's going to roll back over. I tried to. I hadn't looked at the volume prints yet. Look at the volume. All right, you remember me talking about the big print that normally props the market up? It came in. It just came in at 944. We'll see if the market has in the past couple 2-3 months, the market has rallied off this volume spike. But I noticed the other day we had one and it did not. So I'm not saying, hey, go buy. I'm just saying this volume spike that just happened has been one that we would rally off of. And guess what? We're rallying. Oh, imagine that. We'll see. I mean, like the 1 minute, it can't break away from the 8. And that's why I'm watching right now. You want it to break away. See how the 1 minute candle hugs it? It keeps hugging it. The wick went up, come out. That's algos right there. You had that big volume spike. And the market's weak now. The market is very weak. I mean, even though it's not, the Nasdaq's down 200, but the transports is only down 50 points. Where's the Russell at? Where's Ruddy? Bonds are down a point. The Russell's down 1%. All right, boys, is that all the bounce we're going to get? I'm going to leg down. We're going to leg down if that was it. I'm just looking at the 1 minute. See, the 2 minute couldn't even make it up to the 8. Hey, Jen, how are you? Good morning. Jen, do you trade in your pajamas? I'm just curious. I mean, I know it's in Colorado or whatever. Are you in a nightgown, a negligee? All right. I'm like I said, I have not made a trade. I'm still watching. And do you remember that ball I showed you at the beginning of this video? I just stumped my damn toe on it, and I told you I was going to do it. See, I told you, life and death's the power of your tongue. I said I was going to stump my toe on it, and I did. This is one of those markets that will eat your ass. I'm just telling you, this is one of these markets. It's right now. It's to me, even though we're down, it's lipless trading. Listless trading. I mean, hell, the transports are only down 29 points now, and what is the Dow? Where's the Dow? The Dow's down 145. Comp's 177. Redfin. I'm going to call out what I'm seeing on my ticker over here. Stocks making right now making morning highs. Overstock, Flex, Mara, Qualcomm, Baidu, XPEB, Uber, Verizon, Intap. Qualcomm again. Oracle's making new lows. Netflix is making new lows. Netflix is eating up my new lows. SMG. I don't even know what SMG is. DHI. Verizon, Cat. Yeah, see some of the Dow components out there making new. You do? Okay. All right. Send pictures. Yeah, the patience is where it's at. I meant like that's what I'm showing. I meant like the young pack would have been. I'd have already traded 50,000 shares by this time of month, and I hadn't done anything. Is that because I'm old or slow or wise or that's the thing of it's just not it's all of the discipline that's really is all about the setup. And if I don't have a setup I like, I could I could have been trading this, on coin. I could have been trading it. It was, but see, I would have had to buy something that wasn't a setup. It was just way below the averages. It was oversold, and you can roll the dice on that. But here's the thing: if you stay in this business long enough, and something like a coin where you see it's below the averages and it's below S3 like the Qs are right now, and you say, "Hey, this is a bargain." Well, see, you've never been involved in a stock that all of a sudden a headline come out that it was a complete fraud, and the SEC rated their building, and the stock went from 50 to 0 in a day and a half. I have, unfortunately. You don't see that. I mean, hell, we got Yale and Tupperware that were a quarter. Yale was a quarter, and it went to $5 in the last 2 days. A bankrupt company. And it's the same people that did it. What was the other Hertz? Wasn't it Hertz Rent-A-Car? I think it was Hertz that did the same thing and then finally went to 0. But you don't never know. With the games they let them play with options, they can do that now. So here's the thing about today's action too. One of the reasons I hadn't done anything is you don't know if there's order imbalance out there on days like today. I mean, you could have a floodgate of people working limits. So like coin went from being down to being up a point, and now it's down a point. And so that could be a market maker that's working a limit order. He lit up off the gas. He lit up the selling because it was too far down. He stopped selling. It pops, and they come right back to him. He's sitting on the offer to drill their ass again, and that might happen all day long. I don't know. I mean, you got it's early in the day to be looking at a 15-minute candle, but if you look at a 15-minute candle, you got the ugly 15-minute candle down, and now you got a 15-minute candle that's inside that, and so you're below S3, you're below everything. So you would think, but we don't trade on thinking, but I'm just going to share my thinking, is that if we don't reclaim this candle when we break that lower wick of that prior 15, I think the Qs break down to 376. I think you get probably 1.5 points if it breaks this. Maybe a point. And still haven't broke it, but if I was sitting on my keyboard, I would probably play this break, but I'm not. All right, we'll see if this, I think it just broke. We'll see if it gets steamed to the downside. See, and here's the thing about it. If this break doesn't get steamed to the downside, it's not at a trend line. There's nothing there to support it. So I question where's the support coming from? Because it didn't let loose. Yeah, this is just right now. This is an environment that would just chop you up. Hey, Jen, good. Your account's back at all-time highs. Good. Well, don't mess it up. I don't know if we're down a lot of money. My theory on, like, when I've had trades that I was down on and I got back to break even, I got out of it, or close to break even. I just got out of it. Considered myself lucky to get it back. Selling is what makes you a trader. Buying doesn't mean you're a trader. Selling makes you a trader, because now you have completed a transaction. You have bought and you have sold. That's a trader. I'm a trader. I bought this. I've been holding it for 6 months. It's coming back. Sometimes they don't come back. In this market, hell, we could have made 1,000% on a bankrupt company. It's kind of funny though. When WorldCom went bankrupt, when it was trading at, I don't know, 2 or 3 cents, I bought a bunch of WorldCom. Like, I don't even remember the exact position. I bought, 1 million shares or something stupid, and it was stupid, but it went from 3 cents to 20 cents, and I sold it. And of course, the rest of the story. But I made a good trade in a bankrupt company. That'd have been a good trade to buy some Yale, wouldn't it? I don't even look at that stuff anymore. I don't look at trash. That's trash. That's like, it's a zero company. You got some big guys like Ken Lay that get to break all the damn rules, and I guarantee you he's behind this, or somebody like him. But you know what? We have gapped down, and basically the Qs have done absolutely friggin' nothing. The transports are down 39. The Qs are down 200. Now, if we don't rally, now it's real early in the day. It's 9:57. If we don't rally and we hold these lows and hold these lows and hold these lows all day, the last hour, well, old school, if it stayed like this all day, the last hour would be, you could just about count on a leg down. In today's environment, all right, so now the 15 minutes candle that I'm watching is going to close in 2 minutes, but the candle just turned green. But it's spinning right here. It's spinning now. It's moving a little bit, and it's spinning. It's spinning. Now it's back red. So basically, here's my opinion of what's happening here. You got a lot of sellers, but they're not panicking. They're basically, with action like this, I'd say there's a bunch of lemon orders. You got market makers sitting on the offer waiting for people to come to them because everybody's bought the dip. And it may be where they sit there and the dip buyers get their ass jammed all day because the market makers are not hammering it. They're just sitting there on the offer, letting the market come to them. And I think right now, that's what's happening. I think you got sellers, but the sellers are not hitting the bids. They're sitting on the offers. So basically, I think you got, my opinion, you got market makers working lemon orders. And there will be a time where if there was panic, you would see the market makers hitting bids. And right now this is complacency, and this is dangerous. I mean, I'm just telling you, this is dangerous. The complacency in this market is dangerous. course, riding a bike's dangerous too. So, there's danger everywhere. Hell, eating's dangerous. Hell, I choked on a roast beef sandwich. So, all right, now we got a new 15-minute candle. That candle, all right, you had an ugly candle. Now you get the next candle, the 49.5 to 10 candle, is a bearish spinning top. So hold on here. That's weakness now. It's weak. It's so weak. One of the spies showing spies are down 83%, 80.83, 0.82. Caterpillar, Union Pacific, and United Healthcare is the only green I got on my screen. Everything else is red. Where's the tick? All right. The tick's positive right now. The tick went positive. The NASDAQ tick's ticking higher. I meant ticking positive. I meant like it's in positive territory. And we might get a bounce here. But the 2 minutes at the now, if I'm looking at I've got screens over here and screens over there, but I'm looking at the 2 minute on the Qs. If you look at the 2 minute on the Qs is inside, right on the 8, and it's breaking. It's trying to break higher, and the tick's coming back down now. So if that was all the buying we had, there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of strength. Of course, we already know that. All right, guys, it is 10 o'clock. That's the first 30 minutes of this market. I have not made a trade. Everything is most everything is down, and today is I would I had I traded I stay away AMD mode, not mode, Heavy Eagle. Yeah, I mean, like I stay away from earnings. I'll trade them afterwards, but I hadn't made any trades. The semiconductors, the NASDAQ's where if the bonds keep selling off, the NASDAQ should get, I'm not going to say hammered, but all right, see how that 2 minute candle, we could not make it through the 8 EMA. So, I mean, it's just, it's a tug of war right here. Other than some of these stocks, I mean, like coin was down, 2, went up 1, up 3. Now it's down $1.50. This is like running your nose over a cheese grater. So that's the thing about, one of the things that like Jen used to talk about patience, that this is where patience saves you money. I mean, all days are not made are not made for trading. I mean, like, even you want to trade, I want to trade, but some days, just not losing money is a good day. And see, you only, if you look at it, you only need to make one. You only need to make one or two good trades a day. And you don't have to be in a hurry. And if they don't set up, you don't do it. Now, if I was still trading, you know, the old me would have been just, I'd have been gunslinging this market. But, you know, I'd ended up, I'd like just, you know, 30 minutes in, I'd trade 100,000 shares and then break even on the day. You know, when we made markets, we didn't even use charts, lines, nothing. We didn't have none. We didn't use any of this stuff. We were doing order flow. Wow, this market's, oh man. So, well, that's what it's like, you know. I mean, really, over a cheesegrater. SMCI, Sterling. I'm not familiar with SMCI. I'll look at it though, because I mean, there's so many. I mean, I like it when you guys share ideas with me, because you know, I can't see everything. But like Coin, Carvana, some of these stocks, I get in rhythm with some of these stocks, and like Coins all over the map. Carvana, they're all over the map, but they're good to trade. And see the market. You see how you look at that 15-minute candle. See how you had that on the Qs. See on that 15. See how you had that inside and it breaks. I'm still waiting around. And I told you this when I started. 376.07 on the Qs is where that starts to interests me. If we lose it, then you're probably looking at another 3 points on the downside on the Qs. I will probably. Well, I'm gonna start. I don't know if I'm gonna trade the Qs, but when the Qs get there, I'm gonna look at the stocks I'm trading, and it may be where I just trade the Qs. And tick's positive again. SMC Sterling, I'll look at that. Super microcomputer. I would look at yesterday's candle on SMCI for the trade there. I mean, basically, you got a bullish engulfing with the inside day on SMCI. I said I've never heard of it, and I've got algo lines on it, so I've traded it. I don't remember when I traded it, but I've traded it. I don't have it on my watch list anymore. I prune, and you know, I keep about 50 stocks I keep on my personal watch list, and I'll boot some off after I hadn't traded them for a while and I hadn't traded them. All right, I just had an alert pop up on my computer. I wish y'all could see this, but an alert just popped up on Home Depot. Home Depot has crossed down through 329.70, and that may have been. Let's pull up and see what I want. When a note comes up like that, that's normally an area I would go short, I think. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm not telling you to. Yeah, Home Depot just broke. Home Depot just broke. They had a wick hanging off a trend line, and just broke below. I would watch Home Depot for possible short here. All right, Q's broke down to 373, the 376 level, folks. I'm gonna hang up with you guys. I hope y'all have enjoyed this morning, because we're getting down here where it might be time to, I'm been on deck. Now it's time to bat. So, all right, I will. I'm gonna attempt something here. Here, real like 376.47. I'm thinking 376 holds. That's what I think. If we lose it, then whatever. If you pick a stock or whatever, then you stop your trade. All right. Yeah. Peace out. Have a good day, and we'll probably talk again tonight. All right. See y'all.